Wukong on a lot of accounts sucks at being a AAA Souls-like game. It throws a lot of complex mechanics at you way too overwhelmingly fast.
That's my saber-style block.
It punishes you for making intelligent plays that other AAA games reward.
Is that a carameled apple? That's adorable.
And those sacrifices it's making isn't even in the service of improving its story.
Some say that the journey never happened.
If you are trying to make a standard AAA Souls-like game, this is not the way to do it. But they weren't. They weren't trying to do what so many other Souls-likes had done before them and just rehash the same thing under a different aesthetic. They set out to do something that was such a risky play, which turned out to pay off so immensely that it's really hard to explain. And because of that, despite ignoring entire base mechanics of this game, I still enjoyed it more than any other game of 2024. That's right, I didn't use two base mechanics of this game. I never took medicine, and I never shopped at the store, which is kind of a big deal because shopping lets you upgrade your armor and, in essence, viability against foes at a much faster rate than just going at the game's normal pace. And medicine is medicine. It heals you, it protects you from certain enemy types, it protects you from certain enemy attacks, it lets you not take damage or friggin' respawn with an extra life. It is a very complex and creatively implemented part of the game that I straight up ignored, because by the time I was done finally figuring out the base combat mechanics, I did not want to complicate my life all over again. The game throws so many options at you up front that it's way too much to take in a useful manner anyway. The base combat is sort of like God of War in that you have different weapons you can use, but instead of different weapons, it's different ways of holding the same stick, which you wouldn't imagine is super thrilling to play, but by gosh, man. When you really start to implement and switch tactics in the field against enemies that you know will be more usefully matched against different tactics in the field, dopamine, dopamine, dopamine.
Oh, I am one shot, but so are you!
And by the time I had that all down pat and I was ready to learn the medicine and shopping mechanics too, I didn't really want or need to. Need being the operative word in that statement. You can play this game any way you want and create viable builds against every foe in the campaign. This game's relationship to its player is so contrastingly unique that it gets to the point where it actually punishes you for doing things that you would expect to reward you in other games. Here's an example. Imagine you find two rats in the desert. One's a really big, mean one, one's a really small one that just keeps chucking rocks at you. On your first attempt, you find out that if you kill the smaller father rat who's throwing the rocks at you, yeah, you don't have to worry about that nuisance for the rest of the battle, but it does make the larger rat much more angry. And by video game logic, powerful. So you proceed to get your butt whooped, and then coming back for a second attempt, you, having learned with this spongy thing of meat that you have in your head, that you should probably kill the larger rat first. So you do that. And it is easier. You progress along the campaign without a care in the world until you get a little curious. Because normally after a boss fight like that, you would get what's called a spirit. One other fun mechanic of this game is that it lets you transform into the enemies that you defeat depending on if they're of a certain class.
But a shapeshifter is on his way here.
No.
The ability for you to pummel someone and then take their soul and use their power against other foes in your path in such a literally transformative way is so rewarding and satisfying. It lets you do this in two ways. I'm on a tangent now, but bear with me because this is cool. You essentially have a big super move that you can slot some of these bigger enemies into and then use one of their attacks once. And you can upgrade those if you want to, and they're really helpful. Or you always have another slot for some more minor enemies that you can just transform into at will based on a really well-timed cooldown system. You have a totally different health bar, you have totally different mana, which is like magic or might, kind of, I forget already. And after defeating this big rat with all these fun powers that you experienced after you made him angry in the previous attempt, you would expect to get something like that, get the spirit to use. So where's the spirit? And then you go online and you find out, oh, yeah, you were smart. You were really smart defeating the big guy first. Look at you, but you don't get the spirit now. You still feel cool, you still feel smart. But the kicker is that even if you get that spirit, it doesn't do you much good anyway. It's not like it's better than any other spirits you're gonna get down the road. It's not like it's any more useful for you than just having it, than just the cool factor of having won it. You will never get a godlike item from taking the road less traveled. You'll straight up miss out on achievements from intelligently handling challenges. You can efficiently take shortcuts, ignore entire mechanics, outsmart challenges, and skip side quests. And you will not miss out on any meaningfully playthrough easing power. But it's less cool. That's the different goal this game is going for the player. You're pursuing content that makes your playthrough cooler, not easier. You can skip the rat boss, but you'll miss out on the cool transformation. You can walk right by hidden paths, but you'll miss out on super cool boss fights. This game doesn't want you to progress. It wants you to explore. And it believes in that goal so profoundly that the original launch version of this game didn't even have maps. The whole no map thing and no ability to change difficulty was so alien to me when I first got this game because it's such a massive game to not have those options, especially for my playstyle. My playstyle is a thorough single playthrough of the campaign. But once I got used to this more explorative way of playing a massive video game, it let me free up my mind away from treating every area I came across like a progress bar. Progress bars that I needed to complete before getting back to the good stuff so I felt like I didn't miss out on anything. In this game, there are no Howard's Pigeons levels. The idea is it's all good stuff, and if you don't want to play experiencing all of it, that's fine. Don't want to spend an extra hour on the rats for a transformation you may never use? Cool. Don't want to use 2 base mechanics of the game? That's fine. There's always a viable build. Just respec, no big deal.
Oh! Yes! That took way too long. I had stamina regeneration maxed out. I respec'd and just put all of that into defense instead so his hits hurt me less. First try.
Juggle around those stats and see what works for you. Just go with the flow. Except for this guy, he sucks and he is not avoidable. And if you thought not including maps was something, just wait, because get this, the big bad guy of the video game,
We don't need to resort to violence.
Oh, but I want to so very badly.
isn't even in the main campaign of the video game. You have to complete secret areas to fight him. And when you do, it's an even higher production fight than the end of the game's official story. Who does that? They are actively sacrificing their whole story's narrative satisfaction and decreasing by a large margin the amount of people who are going to experience the biggest fight of their game just to encourage you to keep playing past the credits, which turned out to work for who played this game on its non-original language, who embraced this game from an explorative mindset because we couldn't understand the main story anyway. I still could not tell you what the story of this game I spent so much time in was. Whether it's intentionally vague or there was just a lot lost in translation. This game is not story appeal first, but this altogether serves that bigger purpose of don't progress, explore. That's the big risk mindset that took this game from just being another Dark Souls ripoff to something that became a phenomenon embraced by people from all over the globe, more than just in the domestic country, primarily for whom it was produced. So yeah, even after I had the ability to understand all the mechanics and learn medicine and shopping, in addition to all the combat mechanics that I personally chose to prioritize on my playthrough, I took the gamble that this game, from everything that I have experienced it telling me so far in that point in the campaign, was going to leave that option open for me. And so I set out to beat Wukong's campaign without doing even the bare minimum that the game expects from you. I didn't do all the side quests. I didn't even stick around past the credits like what the game gambled on me trying to do. I ignored 2 very base mechanics of the game. I didn't get all the side stuff. I didn't get all the side powers, but I still had a better time playing that game than I did any other game that year because it let me play it that way. Because the truth is, there is no wrong way to play Black Myth Wukong.
Hold on. I'm on a mission. I'll be right with you. What's that? Ew. His head looks like that potato that's left in the bottom of the bag.
You challenge me without even letting me have dinner first.
Who fights on a full stomach? Alright. Whoa.
Do not desire immortality.
I feel like it'd be boring, you know? I mean, how long have you been around? Long enough to perfect your gym routine, it seems like.
Whoa, you look, different.
You've been juicing? Little vibranium cocktail? Ah, I'm on fire. Not in the good way.